Orders, welcome back to my channel. Oh my god, I watched this episode of Teen Mom Next Chapter and all that came to mind was trauma, generational trauma, scene after scene after scene. Let's jump into the recap. But before we do so, don't forget, I do have an affiliate link if you too would like to watch Teen Mom Next Chapter online through Philo. So it's kind of like Netflix of reality TV. They've got the different stations and you can watch it in real time as it's airing on TV, by the way. Okay, so link in bio for that. God, I don't even know where to start, you guys. I'm really shook, especially by Amber's behavior. We already knew Amber had serious problems, but now it's like glaring, and I just felt really terribly for her daughter Leah this episode. Like I'm still like wow over what I saw, right? So at the very beginning, all the girls do a group call chat to talk about Jade's wedding. It was sad to see Ashley be excluded from this group chat, by the way. Like Mackenzie later joined in and everything like that. Brianna was here even though she wasn't featured in the episode. Same thing with Macy, etc., even Jade, but there was no Ashley. And so I really hated that for her, to be honest with you guys. And something that was rather interesting was how Amber Portwood left the wedding with a girl, but then she pops up on this group chat talking about she's got a boyfriend and that they've been together for a little bit and it's like getting serious or something like that. I was like, woo, whiplash. I see this girl is as chemically imbalanced as ever, okay? Now, meanwhile, her daughter, or should I say her little sister, Leah, is about to celebrate her 15th birthday, and she requested to go to an Italian restaurant. Don't kill me, you guys, but I always take every opportunity I can to hate on Italian food. And I know a lot of people love it, but I just don't get the hype. And I've been to Italy so many times. I've been to Northern Italy. I've been to Southern Italy. I've been to Central Italy. The food is not good, in my opinion. I'm sorry, but I find it so bland. Every time I'm forced to go to an Italian restaurant, I'm like starving. I'm like, oh, great. Another opportunity to eat pizza, you know? I'm sorry. I just don't get the hype. It just does not touch Jamaican food. It does not touch African food. It does not even touch Greek food. It doesn't touch Lebanese food, Vietnamese food. Like, it's so bland. Someone please help me understand how that bland food is considered the best in the world. I truly do not understand. Rant over. I'm sorry, you guys, but rant over. So let me get into Mackenzie, okay? So she's in her home. She goes over how she moves from Oklahoma to Florida. This home was absolutely beautiful, and I am so beyond jealous of her fridge. Look at it. Like on the right panel there is like a screen. Like it's huge. It's beautiful. My fridge is the size of a quarter of her fridge, and I'm looking at it right now in disgust because, you know, the Parisian apartment fridges are like this unless you luck out, and I'm disgusted. I'm so jealous. The amount of Picard I could put into my freezer if I had a proper fridge. I'm screaming. So for my Canadians watching, Picard is like the French equivalent to M&M. You know, M&M meat shops? Yeah, like that, but like more day-to-day food sort of thing, you know? Now, so, okay, again, I just needed a little bit of a side to gag over her fridge. Like I'm dying. So next up, Leah's sister, I forgot her name's Victoria or something like that, right? So she comes to Leah's house to announce that she's got their druggy dad at home with her and her kids as he attempts to go through a detox. And Leah warns her about enabling their father. And then the sister tries to force Leah to reconcile with him. I'm sorry, but her sister's so weird. She's always coming to stir like things up in a bad way, and I really don't like that, to be honest with you. And by the way, she doesn't even blink. She was just staring at Leah like this the entire time, and I was kind of like, are you okay, sis? Like, I didn't love that. Like, she knows Leah's boundaries, but here she is trying to push things as per usual. By the way, Leah looks amazing this scene. I love her blue eyes with the dark hair, with the red lip. It's such a beautiful combination. In fact, my friend and I were talking about this the other day. We're talking about, like, you know, and she's Haitian, Haitienne, pardon. And so we're like, yeah, like dark hair, blue eyes, and, you know, red lip combo on the girls. Like, girls, rock it. It looks so beautiful on you. So I do have to ask you guys a question for my blondies. Is it true that after a certain age, your hair goes brown? Because I'm looking at the scene of Leah and her sister, and I remember them when they were younger, they were blondes, but here they are with brown hair now. And I saw a video on TikTok where people claimed that after the age of like 30 or something like that, or as you age, if you're blonde, your hair goes dark. And so now they're saying that, like, over the age of 30 something, like most women that you see with blonde hair, like they're dyeing their hair to be that way. Is that true? If so, I find that to be very fascinating. Huh. Anyway, down in California, Cheyenne's unemployed husband, Zach, is online looking at if he could potentially become a fireman, an EMT, an electrician. Like, he's trying to find a career. He's like, okay, well, I'm trying to impregnate this woman, and she's telling me I got to get a job. Now I got to figure out what type of job I even want. Like, I'm sorry, but you're a 32-year-old father of two. Like, and you're trying to have another child and you still haven't even figured yourself out, what your passion is, what you want to do. Like, this is so weird. Like, the ick I would get, brother. Ew, what is this? This is so weird. I'm sorry, but Cheyenne, why did you marry this bum? I do not understand it. And so he's now suddenly trying to find a career path because Cheyenne is a whopping 31 years old and he's scared that she's only got 10 to 15 months of fertility left. I'm sorry, I have to laugh because I find that so hilarious. The difference is night and day. And I noticed that when I first came here to Paris, is you see so many older parents. I used to be like, these people are like, so much older and they've got these little kids that they're running after and stuff. I find that so fascinating because, back in Ottawa, especially in the small town, like before living in a suburb, I lived in a small town of like 10,000 people, one traffic light type small. All those people, like, they didn't go to university. Like, they just, they had a bunch of kids, like starting at teenage age, and like the latest in that group, like they started having them in like their early 20s kind of thing. And the suburban peeps, they went to university, then they started having kids directly after, like in their early 20s as well, right? But here in my group of friends, we have like some teen parents right now, like the first set of teen parents in my friend group. And guess how old they are? She's 40 years old and the man is 39 years old. And like, are they too old? Like, that has never really been a conversation for us because it's just the way things are here. Like, people, you go, you get your education, and most people, like here in my group, like, it's not just your bachelor's, it's your master's, it's your PhD. Then you live, you get married, then you have kids. Like, it's so like, it's just such a non-factor to us. So it's funny to see like, the extreme opposite on American television. Now, let's get into Mackenzie's situation with her daughter, because I still do not understand what the heck happened that was so bad that her daughter, like, she says, oh, my daughter, she got into like this biking accident. Like, she busted her front tooth. It was an adult tooth, by the way. So like, she needs surgery on that. She broke her arm. She needs surgery on that. I'm like, what the hell type of bike was this? Like, did she have her daughter riding around on a motorcycle, like without a helmet? Like, was the daughter driving the motorcycle? Like, why are Mackenzie's kids always in some seriously messed up situations? And she just acts like it's so casual and normal. Like, I found it to be really, really disturbing what happened to this girl. And the explanation of this being like a bicycling accident, like, was she biking off a cliff? Was she biking at a skate park? Like, I want more details on how the hell a bike fall could lead to this. Like, this was extreme, you guys. This is wow. Whew. So she talks about how her emergency Black boyfriend was really there for her and her daughter during this time and her recovery and everything like that, and how Cassandra gets along really well with her father and everything, which I thought to be really sweet. To be honest, because of Mackenzie's ignorant statements in the past, and Josh as well, and like, just, no offense, but Oklahoma, I worried that her family was like really racist and that they were going to object to Cassandra, her dating Cassandra and everything like that. But the dad really loves him. They get along well. They do a lot of activities together. And so I'm like, okay, that's good. But low-key, I'm still holding my breath for Cassandra, just based off Mackenzie's past. Now, the dad has a little conversation with him and everything, and he seems really, really sweet and genuine. Like, you can tell that he genuinely likes Cassandra. So I'm happy for him in that respect. So voila. So next up, I'm sorry, this is another scene that made me laugh. Okay, so Cheyenne takes her sugar baby with her to the fertility specialist, and she's like, you see this man right here? He's broke, he's unemployed, he doesn't even want to know what he does for work, but I need to go see his fertility specialist to see how I can have another one of this bum's babies. I'm sorry, because Cheyenne, but this is poor coochie management. Like, what the hell did your mom teach you? Like, one of the biggest lessons my mom taught me: no broke man. Absolutely not. You will never, ever date a broke man in your life. First of all, you will get your education, you will make money, and you will date a man on your level or higher. Like, Zach would not fly in my family. And I just can't. I really cannot. Like, this is just so weird. Cheyenne, stop. Stop. Get yourself together. You should not be making all of these things. And the man still can't even figure out what he wants to do. He's watching YouTube videos of men putting out fires. Like, should I be a fireman? Like, girl, get it together. What is this, Anyway, Gary and Christina, when they were at the restaurant, I was like, okay, guys, that Ozempic looks good on you. You guys are looking good. Especially Christina, her jaw, maybe this is a better picture. Look at her jawline. It was snatched. You know who she was giving in this scene right here in this angle? She was giving Bristol Palin, okay? Not Palin, Palin. Like, wow, good on you guys. And I do think they changed their lifestyle as well. And it shows, like, they're glowing. So I'm very much happy for them. Now, mind you, Amber was super late to Leah's birthday dinner. It was supposed to be at 3:00, but the girl did not show up until like 4 something. So it was over an hour late. And she was just so odd. She was wearing dungarees and one of the straps kept on falling over. And she just, when you see her leaving her house, she's so nonchalant about it. Gary's like, you're late. These people had to start ordering like appetizers to eat because they waited so long and they were starving and agitated, which I completely understand. And Amber kept insisting that she wasn't late. It's like, girl, you've got a watch, you've got a phone, you got your Uber driver, ask him what time it is. You know you're late. Like, you're late. Just accept it, apologize, and then you guys could move on. But she kept on denying it, like even to her daughter. And it was just so weird. I got to say something, you guys, and it is rather strong. Here's my theory. I feel like Amber is back on drugs. In my personal opinion, it felt like it. The second I saw her leaving the house, I said, either she pre-drank or she's back on drugs, but something's happening to her and it's not good. And hang on, let me look at a picture of her new boyfriend. Does he look like he's into that type of stuff? It's kind of blurry to tell, but I'm wondering, is this guy a bad influence on her? Because, she has always been a mess, yes, but she did seem clean for a while there. But now in this scene, she seemed messed up. It's either drugs or it's either alcohol, in my opinion. It was very weird. And I was very disappointed for her daughter, Leah, Now, so she also was slurring when she was speaking to Leah as she arrived. I'm like, why are you slurring? You haven't even drank yet. Or have you? Why are you slurring? Like very, very sad. And then she randomly at the table announces that she's got a new boyfriend. Then she gets really irate with Leah because Leah was kind of like not all that interested. It's like your daughter's celebrating her 15th birthday. And here you come talking about, I got a new boyfriend. And today's my day. Who cares about your latest fling? Like, God. And then, I got to say, I was horrified when Leah asked, oh, you're going to have another kid. And then Amber claimed that she wanted another kid. I said, oh, that's the last thing a kid needs. That's the last thing Amber needs. Like, stop it, Amber. You don't like kids. We saw the way you were or are with Leah. We saw the way you were or are with James. Like, you do not need to traumatize a third living, breathing person. Stop it, And then Leah's like, oh, like, you know what? Okay, I don't want to see a picture of this guy because Amber was trying to show a picture. Leah did not care. She's like, I don't really want to see, but as long as he makes you happy. And then at this point, Amber curses her out. She's like, oh, stop being a dick. And then she's like, you're so sarcastic. You're all the worst parts of me. Like, look at this image, you guys. How terrible is this that you're celebrating your birthday and your mom's over there boozing it up, right? And talking down on you, saying that you're a dick. And then she's like, shut the F up. Wow, that is a 15-year-old, Amber. That is a 15-year-old. And did you guys also notice that Amber, I don't have a good photo of it, but this wasn't the only glass of wine she had at the table. She had 2 glasses right next to each other. She was like freaking like, chain drinking those things, like throwing them back. Something is wrong. Amber is abusing substances, in my opinion. It really does seem to be the case. And I hate that. And I don't want to give her an excuse, but it really feels like that might be behind this. We already know her behavior and stuff, but like, I have never seen her like this directly to Leah's face, and that is just such a terrible way to spend your birthday. But luckily for Leah, she has her sister, Emily. Oh, you don't see Emily in this photo, but she's got her little sister, Emily, who was really, really comforting to her and everything like that. I was like, thank God she's got her, because this is so damn sad. I can't imagine spending my birthday like this. She broke down. She was red. She was crying. And she asked her real mother, Christina, to accompany her to the bathroom. And then she said she doesn't even want to open these gifts anymore. Like, oh God. That was just so, so sad. Poor Leah. I feel really, really bad for her. And listen, she's at an age where she's going to remember this type of stuff. So Amber truly should be ashamed of herself for the way she acted there. Now we've got Leah's dad, who gets into her car on his way to the detox center. And so he gets in and he just breaks down crying, apologizing to her for letting Ruggs take over his life and just, mess up Leah's life as well. Like, apparently the two of them used to buy and then just get high together. Like, it's really, really sad. Honestly, the amount of trauma some parents put their kids through. Whoo! And to watch it play out like this, usually you're seeing the result of it, right? You're seeing maladjusted people, but to watch it happen in real time, craziness, craziness, craziness. And you know what? I'm going to put up this picture of Nova as well, because I do think that she falls into this category, and we're going to talk more about that later. Okay. So I felt like that was a very raw moment between Leah and her dad, especially on her dad's end. But, honestly, Leah at this point, like, I don't know what is up with her. Like, she just starts delivering a pre-canned speech, about how she's not going to let this addiction get in her way, ruin her relationship with her kids and this and that. Like, she always just sounds so damn inauthentic, and pre-rehearsed and scripted. Like, she must be happy that ChatGPT is out here to help her prepare her monologues these days, because I know she used to be writing them by hand in crayon, but now with ChatGPT, she just puts in a couple of prompts. Need to look good for MTV. Let's talk about addiction. Let's deliver a speech on that. Let's stand in our power about addiction. And ChatGPT delivers that stuff to her like that on a silver platter. I know she's thrilled, like, I don't know, something about her is so off. It's so empty. I feel like she's afraid of being vulnerable in front of the cameras ever since, she went through her, drugged out phase, Now, okay, remember how I put up that photo of Nova in my category of parents traumatizing children, okay? This scene between Caitlin and Nova also kind of made me uncomfortable. I know that Caitlin has issues with her mom, April, relapsing, and how she doesn't want that around her kids and everything like that. But I felt like this conversation was a little inappropriate for Nova. Like, she's still very young. I know she's the eldest daughter, but I think this falls into the eldest daughter trauma category, where they're kind of like rushed to grow up and to see things and hear things that they're not ready for at their young ages. I feel like, Caitlin going into detail about her mom being an alcoholic and this, that, and stuff was a bit much. I know, like, I like that she asked questions for Nova, like if she noticed weird behaviors or things that made her uncomfortable. And then Nova talked about, like, one time April fell asleep in the bathtub. I was like, oh, she almost drowned when she's supposed to be watching her kids. Yeah, that's some stuff you should know for sure. But I still do feel like, I don't know, the conversation, there was a lot of details and stuff. And I feel like she could have been more reassuring to Nova when Nova asked, oh, like, is she doing this stuff because she doesn't want us in her life anymore? And Caitlin's like, oh, that's a question you have to ask her. Caitlin, your mom is sick. She's an alcoholic. That is an illness. I don't think she necessarily doesn't want, like, her grandkids in her life. It's just she's battling an illness and she's losing the battle. And I feel like you should have reassured Nova, because it seems like Nova walked away from that conversation thinking, oh, my grandma chose the bottle over me. We don't even know if she wants to be around me and stuff. And I felt really, really bad for her in that respect, Now, next up in Mackenzie's scene, she starts describing the extent of her daughter's, like, arm injury. And honestly, even thinking about it is shocking. Again, what kind of bike was this? Where was she riding this bike? What the hell happened? It's so gruesome. I was expecting a little scrape, a this, or that, but to have all of these bones broken, crushed, and now your grown tooth, you're going to need an implant and stuff like that. Like, what happened? Does anybody know? Did I miss that part? Because, sometimes I do be half listening, right? Like, that was really, really crazy. Okay. Now, okay, so Amber, after cursing out her daughter, she says, okay, you're done. You're up next, Gary. Let's get to cursing you out. So the two of them start bickering and bickering and bickering, and it went on way too long. It was like two siblings fighting and stuff. They were doing too much in front of Leah. Gary was responsible for this too. Like, he could have shut this down. And, like, everybody at the table was shook, including Emily. And then at a certain point, Gary apologizes to Leah because he's noticing that she is getting uncomfortable. And then Amber's like, what are you apologizing to her for? So now you're mad at the man for apologizing to his daughter and understanding her visual cues that she's uncomfortable, that she's sad, that this is ruining her birthday. Like, Amber, you are terrible. And you're considering having a third child. You don't have custody of these two, and you're considering, and you treat both of them like garbage, and you're considering a third child. Please don't. That's enough. That's enough slices. You've traumatized enough people. You didn't even realize that your daughter was uncomfortable and on the verge of tears, or maybe you realized and you just didn't want Gary to apologize because that makes you look even worse than you already look. Like, so weird. I'm telling y'all, in my opinion, personally, I think she either did drugs or she pre-drank. Something was way off with her. Okay. And Amber should be ashamed of herself that Leah went off to the bathroom. She asked Christina to go with her. Christina is Leah's real mom, Amber. And that's why she wants Christina to adopt her. Oof. My God, that was terrible. And then what does Amber do? Oh, now it's time to victimize myself, make it look like I had nothing to do with this. And by the way, while they were arguing and stuff, and Gary was complaining about how Amber, was late, and she was like an hour and a half late or an hour and 15 late. She's like, no, I wasn't. Like, please take some responsibility, dude. They were all sitting around starving, waiting for you. They started ordering appetizers. They ordered your food. They're like, this is taking too long. That way, like, at least when she comes, the food will be here. And you still won't even take responsibility for that, She blamed all the fights, everything on Gary. And then she incited her fake tears in order to play the victim. And per usual, she's crying, but no tears are coming out. It's fake. Fake. My God. So after going off to the washroom, Leah leaves without saying goodbye to her stepsister. And then Amber had to call an Uber back because y'all know she was too drunk to drive back. Knocking them back 2 glasses at a time, girl. Whew. Jesus. Oh, and she really did not even open the gifts at the restaurant. Like, that is just sad, Amber. You are so embarrassing. Did you guys also notice Amber showed up empty-handed? She didn't bring any gifts. The gifts that they had at the restaurant were from Gary and Christina. My God. Let me put up this picture again because that is just terrible. What a terrible way to spend your birthday. That was heavy, right? The amount of generational trauma we saw. Crazy, Now you're bringing your own mother generational trauma onto your daughter too. And I'm not saying she's doing it maliciously, but I just think it was too much for Nova to know all these details. Just say, oh, my mom's sick. She's getting better away from us. And that's it, but I digress. Let me know what you guys thought about this. Was this heavy or was it heavy? Because you know what? And I will have the recap up about this too, probably before this recap comes up, but I was watching the Gypsy Rose documentary just to see what her mom did to her, the way the dad just let it happen too, and how that impacted her life and will always impact her life. Oof, Lord, I'm always telling people, stop telling everyone, oh, when you're having kids, most people shouldn't even be having kids, damn it. Most people should not have kids. Look what happens when everyone is pressured and thinking this is what you have to do in life, No, just leave people alone. Let the people who actually want to have kids and are prepared to have kids, mentally, financially, emotionally do it. It's not a thing that everybody has to do. Stop shaming people for not going down this route. Do you want more traumatized children in this world? Do you want more impoverished children in this world suffering? Jesus. Anyway, enough ranting. Guys, if you enjoyed this recap, make sure to give a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to subscribe for more recaps as well. And I do have that affiliate link so you can watch along on Philo in the description box down below. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.